Good morning, respected viewers of this video. Today we discuss a very important topic in quality of education era, outcome based education implementation of policies in NEP 2020. Myself, Dr. DJ Samatha Naidu, Principal, Annamacharya PG College of Computer Studies, Rajampeta. So, what is outcome based education and its implementation of policies in NEP 2020? The younger generation should maintain a quality of education through research oriented policies can be included in NEP 2020. It is a very interesting topic. Without delay, we will start the session. So, in this session, we have the 10 concepts we will discuss in detail. The first concept, the introduction, and the second one is what is OBE, and third one is OBE versus traditional education system, and fourth one objectives of OBE, and fifth one benefits of OBE, and sixth one futures of current OBE, and seventh one OBE pyramid, and eighth one why institutions need to follow, how it is measured, and 10th one is methods of assessment. The first one is what is outcome based education. So as we know that the outcome based education is a system where it can all the parts and aspects of the educations are focused on the outcomes of this course. So many of the education systems now they are now they are designing their curriculum in the form of course outcomes, program outcomes, COs and POs, we say that in short forms. So where the student take up the courses with a certain goal of developing the skills or gaining some knowledge, and they have to complete their goal by end of the course with theoretical knowledge and as well as practical way. That means the experimental learning techniques also they are learning along with the learning techniques of theoretical way also. So there is no specific style or time limit of learning. And the next concept we have definition of the outcome based education. So the first most point is given by the Blutter 2004 in his research paper. They have definited with the outcome based education in the form of clear learning results that learners have to demonstrate, which learners can actually do with what they know and have learned. That means whatever the things we are learning in the particular course of knowledge, that knowledge should be applicable in different eras. That means clear learning the results. The learners have to demonstrate what learners can actually do with that, what they know and have learned. And the second one is either it may be actions, products, performance of the embody, and reflects a learner's competency in using the content based information. It collaborated with the ideas tools successfully. This is given by the Geezer in the year of 1999. And the accumulation of demonstration of learning also not a curriculum content. This definition given by Spady in the year of 1994. We're feeling that the government have launched NEP 2020 in this year. No, it is in a vision of 2020 in the year they have mentioned up the main goal of the NEP 2020 is in 2020 all the illiteracy can be improved as literacy points. That means literal literacy can be increased. So students, each and every student might have their knowledge to grasp a self-learning concepts can be demonstrated. What is the different accreditations and agreements are there? So in the education accords, Washington Accord is there, that is 4 years, and Sydney Accord is there, that is 3 years, and Dublin Accord is there, that is 2 years. And whereas in a practice agreement, when we call it as IPR, International Professional Engineers Agreement, that can be mobilitated by the Engineers Mobility Forum and EPIC Engineer and IETA, International Engineers Technologist Agreement, and AIET. It is an agreement of international engineering technicians. So, in these different accreditations and agreements have been taken into the consideration while applying the outcome based education. So, coming for the development of international engineering alliances, WS signed by SIG organizations in the year of 1989, September 28th, and the development of formal peer reviewer process has been begun in the year of 1919 onwards, and new accords and agreements in the year of 1997 2015, and the development of graduate attribute excellence in the year of 2001 onwards. So, IEA established in 2007. So, these are the 17 countries are signed with a Washington Accord full signatory. So, Australia, it is named as an Engineers Australia in the year of 1989, and New Zealand Institutions of Professional Engineers in the year of 1989, and Canada Engineers Canada, we call it as in 1989, established United States of Accredited Board for Engineering and Technology in the year of 1989, Ireland Engineers Ireland in the year of 1989. So in the same way, Hong Kong, China, South Africa, Japan. So where Hong Kong, China, the Hong Kong Institution of Engineers in the year of 1995, they have established with signatory, and Japan Accreditation Board for the Engineering Education 2005. In Singapore, it is established in 2006 in the name of Institutions of Engineers in Singapore, and uh, Chinese Tapai, and Korea, Malaysia, Turkey, Russia, India, Sri Lanka, etc. OBE approach, identifying the desired outcomes, can be depend on two categories. So it is in a cyclic approach. First, we need to identify the desired outcome, then decide the strategies and methodologies to how to achieve those outcomes, and that can be terminated, that can be forwarded to determine the assessment measures for the achievement of outcomes, and then finally whether we achieved or whether we reach the desired outcome or not. So it is a cyclic approach where the outcome based approach is going on. OBU versus traditional education system. The basic aim of the traditional education system is to pass on the knowledge of the previous generation to upcoming the generations of the students, and even the most experienced staff members are concerned only about the teaching the curriculum and don't have the enthusiasm to stretch their lessons beyond the classrooms. They just want students to learn and mug up the things in being the turn. That means here the knowledge of the previous generations to be upcoming the generations of the students means in older days the education system is in a by-hearted manner. That means the student has to learn specifically. So he by heart that information and mug to mug they can represent in the papers in the form of to get the good marks. But the outcome based education is curriculum based one and don't have the enthusiasm to stretch their lessons beyond the classroom. That way, now we recommend the outcome based education system, which should be passed on the knowledge of the previous generations to the upcoming generations of the students. What are the objectives of OBE? Focus on Focus on the students, not on the teachers. Student demonstrates what they know and able to do. And at the end of the learning experience. That means here it specifically saying that flipped classroom environment activities are going on. That means here we can think and share. Concept also here implements. The faculty can give some assessments before the class work itself. That means tomorrow, whatever the class it may have, that classwork should be discussed now itself. They have to discuss now itself. What are the resources, YouTube links or their materials, or what are the preference textbooks are there, what are the reference textbooks are there, that we need to mention. And before day itself we have to give the students to prepare for the next classroom. And here inside the classroom the student and as well as the teacher both are in a position to discuss each and every concepts. Now that knowledge should be shareable between teacher and student. Here the teacher doesn't demonstrate the syllabus, doesn't demonstrate the entire the concepts and dictate the notes. Here the student and teacher have one beautiful session in the name of discussion. Now friendly they can discuss the things to rectify their doubts and to improve their knowledge on that particular subject. Benefits of the outcome based education for the students bring clarity among the students and the teachers. And here, every student should feel like a flexibility and have some freedom of learning in their own ways. And more than one method of learning techniques will becomes because it is a group activity. So definitely more than one method of learning will come, reduces comparison among the students as everyone has a different target, and completely involves the students taking responsibility for their goals. And what are the features of the OBE? It needs driven, and it is outcome driven, and it has design down approaches. It specifies the outcome and levels of the outcomes. So the focus shifts from teaching to learning, and the framework will be holistic in its outcome of focus. And this is a model of representation of outcome based education. It is a pyramid. In first layer it have some practices. Student has to practice some basic knowledge oriented methodologies. And next, the faculty design some principles of that particular lesson that should be decides. And inside the premises he can collect the information from the laboratories, from the tools, from the software, some material from the other open sources. And what is the main purpose of this is to acquire the knowledge from different repositories of resources. And this is the paradigm which can maintain that the top level of the, or at the end of the session they will get the outcome based education. And OBE 1 paradigm. So, outcome based education which shapes the decision making and pattern of concentrate action. And viewpoint is what and whether students learn successfully is more important than when and how they learn something. The importance of the outcome based education in a modern educational setup we can discuss. So there are so many models, techniques, methodologies, teaching and learning concepts are developed by the uh, higher educations in India. Here the world expecting the multiple transitions rapid pace be in education and corporate space also. So they have shaped T-shaped skills or T-shaped persons is extremely high. What is T-shaped model? Which is essential metaphor used in job recruitment to describe the abilities of the persons in the workplace. And the vertical bar on the letter T represents the depth of the knowledge. The vertical bar on the letter T represents the depth of the knowledge and expertise in a single field. So, whereas the horizontal bar compresses the ability of one to collaborate across the disciplines and to apply knowledge in a parallel areas of the expertise. And as we discussed that this is a T-shaped model where the board and deep. So board consists of base knowledge or skill and deep consists of the depth of the knowledge you learn. That means here the students are two types of students can be there. One student is born intellectual one. They can learn the things with a depthly and without the help of the teachers they can be learn more things. And the second one is they are the dependent type of students. They are classroom whatever we discuss that information is sufficient to them and they cannot be centric learning personality. So that is the major problem that can be have that students doesn't have the centric learning concept. That's why they can not be merged with they cannot merge it with the born intellectual one. So the T-shaped model brings the edge between gap, brings the gap between the two categories of the students, and the gap can be reduced by applying the outcome based education system. What is the OBE purpose? So ensuring that all the students are equipped with the knowledge, competence, and the qualities of the education which should exist in the educational system, and structuring and operating the institution so that those outcomes can be achieved and maximized for all the students, and a success oriented way of operating the systems and establish. And the second one is OBE principle. Everything should be have a clarity. So clarity of focus is important. Next one is expand the opportunity. Next one is high expectations. And next one is design down. The outcome based educational principles having the following layouts. See the clarity of focus that we already know that. And the second one is expand the opportunity. Here the time leads, methods and modalities, operational principles, performance standards, curriculum access and structures, and whereas the student have high expectation to get good marks, where the faculty should also maintain the curriculum design in down to earth. That means we have to culminating, enabling, and discourage. These three are making the design down. Why institutions need to follow OBE? The induction of the India in the Washington Accord in 2014 with the permanent signatory statuses of the NBA is considered a big leap forward for the higher education system in India. It means that an engineering graduate from India can be employed in any one of the other countries who have signed the accord. How is it measured? The OBE model measures the progress of the graduate in three parameters, which are program educational objectives, program outcomes, course outcomes. So, program educational objectives can be represented in the form of PEO, and program outcomes comes under POs, and course outcomes comes under CO. Program educational objectives. What is meant by a PO? There are so many definitions are given by the so many eminent authors, and in simple terms, with definition that describe the career and professional accomplishments that the program is preparing the graduates to achieve. POs are measured by 4 to 5 years after the graduation, whereas a program outcome, here we expecting that to know and able, they have to be able to do by the time of graduation with a narrow statements, and they must reflect the 12 graduate attributes as described by the NBA for undergraduate engineering programs. Whereas in a course outcomes are the measurable parameters which evaluates the each student performance for each course that the student undertakes in every semester. And at this, I'm completing my session. And my dear fellow friends, are there any questions or queries to ask? Thank you. And those who are having any questions, you can post it in my group, and you can like and subscribe my channel also. Thank you so much for watching patiently this concept.